Guys, so we have multiple breaking news coming out. We're going to start with this one first. Pakistan Defense Minister has warned that the threat of nuclear war is clear and present. All right, so we have some very important updates here, and we really don't want to see a mushroom cloud like that. We need to pray for India and Pakistan. All right, those are the two nuclear neighbors, and there's a lot of talk about nuclear. India military says it has begun large-scale mobilization of additional forces to the border. This is coming out from the Guardian. All right, so we're gonna get to all this. Let me just show you some of this stuff first. U.S. offers mediation as Pakistan convenes nuclear command amid threshold concerns. So once again, Marco Rubio's out there and trying to ease things down between India and Pakistan. There is a security alert in Pakistan. On May 10th, the Pakistan Army advised all citizens of Pakistan to remain in their homes until further notice. The U.S. mission to Pakistan has restricted all personnel movement and will reassess this afternoon. Gotta stay home. This thing is, it's not looking good. We have breaking news coming out. All 6 B-2s on Diego Garcia have departed and are either already back or on their way back to White Man Air Force Base in Missouri. All right, 6 weeks deployment to the island. Now, there's a possibility the U.S. and Iran came to some kind of agreement. That's why these 6 B-2 stealth bombers are leaving. But the 4 B-52 bombers are still out there in Diego Garcia. All right, people's gonna be like, "Oh, everything is fine then, right, Lewis? You got 4 big birds out there, and they are much more concerning than B-2 stealth bombers." All right, breaking news, guys. We talked about this yesterday, but we have more updates. National Weather Service facilities are on high alert after militant warning claim the weather radars are being used as a weather weapon against people in the U.S. And we're going to get to all this here, guys. Once again, more breaking news. Nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. The U.S. official warns that if Holy Land doesn't wake up, the U.S. will advance the Saudi deal without it. All right. And Renee, I got you as our moderator. She's like, can you talk about the satellite, the Russian satellite? Well, this is satellite that's going to crash pretty soon. This is considered space junk. It's been up there for over 50 years, maybe more. But we don't know where this thing is going to hit, possibly in the ocean. But again, you have expert keeping an eye on this. You have a spacecraft to crash, land on Earth in just days. Here's what to know. We're going to get to all this here, guys. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the PayPal link and the Cash App link in the comments box, also description box. Thank you so much for your support. Guys, we're going to get to this one here, okay? We're going to get to this, all right? The nuclear weapon alert. But let's focus on this one first, all right? So there's a huge mobilization going on. And it says here you have India starts large mobilization of extra troops to border, says military. Now, someone said 200,000. I can't find the number, to be honest. I can't find the number. But a couple of years ago, there were 200,000 deployed between the Indian and China border. But that was a few years ago. Indian military says it has actively begun large-scale mobilization of additional forces to the border, including activating its reserve territorial army to ensure full operational strength of the army in the event of any further conflict escalation. In a notification on Friday, amid the escalated tensions between India and Pakistan, the Indian Ministry of Defense announced the activation of 14 of 32 infantry battalions of the TA for deployment across the country until February 2028. Wow. Each TA battalion has about 750 personnel. All right, so once again, that's the latest updates, guys. Okay, so that's coming out from the Guardian. All right, so I'm just gonna skip that part. Now let's see what's going on with this one here. Marco Rubio is trying to get involved. We need to calm things down. Secretary of State Marco Rubio have spoken with Pakistani Army Chief Asim Munir and explicitly offered American mediation to start constructive talks in order to avoid future biblical war, marking the first such direct U.S. intervention attempt in a rapidly escalating crisis. This diplomatic push comes as Pakistani Prime Minister convenes the National Command Authority, the body controlling Pakistan's nuclear arsenal, a step typically taken only in war-like situation to discuss nuclear matters. All right, so once again, guys, they really trying to, calm things down out there. Pakistani planning minister said, "We will hate to see the nuclear threshold being breached," signaling serious concerns about potential nuclear escalation between the nuclear-armed neighbors. So again, the U.S. are trying to ease things down out there, Pakistan and India. Now, the U.S. is not going to get involved. They will not get involved when it comes to military stuff, but they will get involved when it comes to dialogue and trying to talk, with these two countries and ease down the tension, because these two could go nuclear, and if they go nuclear, that's 1.6 billion people out there together combined. 1.6 billion people. Just think about that. Out. All right, guys. Before I take you to the next one, subscribe to this channel. You see all these videos here I've been posting. 1, 2, 3, all those. Well, it's 5 altogether. You see the views, how terrible it is. And it's not that people don't want to watch our video. It's that people are not getting our videos. So do me a favor, subscribe to this channel. It will be the only link in the comments box. Just one link. Just one link in the comments box. Subscribe. Hit the bell, the notification bell. Let's not allow the platform to bury this one under the rug, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bury it little by little. They're trying to blind many of our viewers, and that's why they're not getting our videos. Again, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share that video to many people out there. It's very sad that this is where we are right now. You're trying to do things that you enjoy doing, and you got platform trying to make your life a living. You know what? All right, so let's see what's going on here, guys. So they're telling people to stay home. All right, so Pakistan on May 10th, the Pakistan Army advised all residents of Pakistan to remain in their homes until further notice. The U.S. mission to Pakistan has restricted all personnel movement and will reassess this afternoon. The U.S. Department of State continues to remind U.S. citizens of its standing do not travel advisory against all travel to areas near the India Pakistan border and the line of control due to bad groups and the potential for armed conflict. The department's long-standing reconsider travel advisory also urges travelers to reconsider travel to Pakistan more broadly. If U.S. citizens find themselves in an area of active conflict, they should leave if it is safe to do so. If they cannot leave safely, they should shelter in place. Flight availability into and out of Pakistan remains fluid. U.S. citizen traveler can check flight status with their airlines. Okay, we're gonna go here really quick, guys. So the National Weather Service, known as the National Weather Service, we already know that, are currently on high alert, as both federal and state law enforcement agency are investigating series of warnings targeting weather radar facility operated by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The warnings are reportedly linked to veterans on patrol and anti-gov militia base in Arizona led by self-proclaimed Christian nationalist and conspiracy theorist Michael Lewis Arthur Meyer. Meyer and his group claim that the National Weather Service Doppler weather radar system are being used as a weather weapon against Americans. This group has allegedly sent multiple warnings to radar sites across the U.S., openly encouraging strike on the facility. And according to eternal warnings from the NOAA, the group has been advocating for penetration drills aimed at identifying vulnerability in radar installation with the ultimate goal of dismantling the system and causing harm to National Weather Service staff. Federal and local authorities are actively monitoring the situation to prevent any potential acts of violence or sabotage. Yikes. All right. Is it true, guys? Is it true that you have are they creating certain things and stuff like that? Well, there's a possibility. Yeah. So they have certain things that can make these strong winds and all that type of stuff. The sprinkling things in the atmosphere, and I mean, it just playing God, put it like that. Okay, let's go with the nuclear news. Boom. Pakistan warns of nuclear war with India. All right, the reason why, well, this happened earlier. India launches missile strike on 3 air bases as tension continued to escalate. And now we are heading towards this event here. All right, Pakistan warns of nuclear. They need to stop. They need to stop. Tensions between India and Pakistan have reached a critical point following a series of military engagement and provocative rhetoric, raising global concerns about the potential for nuclear biblical war. Pakistan Defense Minister has warned that the warnings of nuclear biblical war is clear and present, citing India's alleged aggressive action as a catalyst for escalating crisis. This statement comes in the wake of a warning strike in Indian-administered Kashmir and subsequent cross-border strikes, which have pushed the two nuclear-armed neighbors to the brink of a broader conflict. The roots of the current crisis lie in the long-standing dispute over Kashmir, a region both India and Pakistan claim in its entirety. Now, the situation deteriorated significantly after certain bad groups on April 22nd, 2025 in Pahalgam, Indian administer Kashmir, which have taken 26, mostly tourists. India accused Pakistan of orchestrating this event, a claim Islamabad denies. And imposed Indian Prime Minister granted the military complete operational freedom, leading to strikes on Pakistani air defense system and other targets on May 7, 2025. So that's what started the whole thing. So Pakistan retaliated, targeting Indian military installation with drones and missiles, though India claims these strikes were neutralized without casualty. A tit-for-tat strike have continued with both sides reporting drone incursion and missile strike. On May the 8th, 2025, India's Ministry of Defense reported that Pakistani drones and missiles targeted military station in Jammu, Palakkad, and other regions, while Pakistan accused India of striking innocent targets, including mosques in multiple regions, taking out 26. These conflicting narratives have fueled mutual distrust and heightened the risk of miscalculation. Once again, Pakistan's defense minister, Asif, has stated that the land would only resort to nuclear if faced with a direct warning to our existence. However, this assertion that a nuclear biblical war could break out at any time if India imposed an all-out biblical war has sent shockwaves through the international community. Now, posts on X reflect similar concerns, with some users interpreting the Asif statement as a plea for international intervention to prevent escalation. One post translated his remarks as an admission of Pakistan vulnerability, stating that please save us. So, well, I'm going to skip all that, and China has also deserted us. Nuclear experts have weighed in on the gravity of the situation. So you have this person here, I'm going to skip his name. A nuclear expert cited by the Economic Times noted that while the current hostility do not directly threaten nuclear escalation, strikes on significant targets could increase the risk. Now, the presence of nuclear arsenal on both sides, India with estimated 150 warheads and Pakistan with around 165, adds a layer of complexity to any military engagement. Scientific American highlighted the potential global consequences, warning that a nuclear exchange could disrupt food supplies and cause widespread change. The international community has responded with urgency to de-escalating crisis. U.S. Secretary of State Rubio has engaged with both Pakistani Prime Minister and Indian Foreign Minister, urging immediate de-escalation. The UN, through Secretary General Antonio, has offered mediation to prevent a confrontation with tragic consequences. You have Saudi of State for Foreign Affairs made a surprise visit to Islamabad on May 9, 2025 in a potential bid to calm tensions. The Group of Seven, the G7 nation, issued a statement condemning the Pahalgam strike and calling for both sides to exercise maximum restraint and engage in direct dialogue. This is the thing that really bothers me, is that you're telling them to dialogue, but here you guys are sending a whole bunch of stuff to Ukraine. And you know how many have passed already? Over 1 million. India and Pakistan, you guys need to behave, but you guys are giving equipment. Mind your business. Mm. So it says here, the closure of the 24 Indian airports, including those in Jammu and other regions, until May 15, 2025, and reports of blackouts and heavy artillery fire along the line of control underscore the severity of the situation. All right. So what they're trying to say here is that this thing could lead to nuclear war, and this thing could, again, it's like the Bible says, a huge population could be out, literally out. Mm. Like I said, it just, you have 1.7 billion people, and combined, we're talking about India and Pakistan. 1.7 billion. Imagine both just firing nukes. 1.7 billion out. Mm. Okay, so we're gonna go with the. Let's see what's going on. Here we go. With the satellite. All right, so that's a big breaking news. The satellite. Let me just fix this really quick so you guys have a better view. There we go. No, let me fix it one more time. There we go. Perfect. Parts of Soviet era spacecraft to crash to Earth this weekend. Uh-oh. Okay, so lander probe of Cosmos 482 launched in 1972. Lewis was not even born. Is expected to re-enter the atmosphere sometime between 9 and 10th of May. All right, so this thing could be, yeah, today. So this thing is like, how old is it? Like 53 years old, man. 53. Man, the 70s. Oh man, the 70s. The 70s are in their 50s now. Man, you guys from the 70s, you guys just hit 50. Almost. I mean, and then the 80s, that's mine. Oh man. Hey, here's the thing. The older I get, the closer, again, we getting to Christ. Think about it like that. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. Have no regrets. Just live your life cheerful, righteous. Part of a Soviet spacecraft is expected to crash back down to Earth this weekend, with experts still unsure of where it will land. Cosmo 482 was launched in March of 1972 on a Soyuz rocket a few days after the Venera 8 atmospheric probe, and was thought to have a similar purpose, intended to reach Venus. What? It failed to escape low Earth orbit and instead broke into 4 pieces. Yikes. Now, Cosmo 482 lander probe is expected to come down to Earth with a bump. So you have Marek, professor of space geodesy at University College London, said the situation was unusual, noting deorbited satellites tended to burn up in the planet's atmosphere owing to drag. However, that is unlikely to be the case of Cosmo 482, a spacecraft that was designed to withstand Venus' extreme conditions such as its acidic atmosphere and extreme heat. Adding, we tried to send Venus has to be armored plated. Mm. It says here, as a result, to land a probe is expected to be robust enough to pass through the Earth atmosphere, because this thing is basically 500 kilogram and is only about a meter across. Then it will probably survive, he added. It is not the first part of Cosmo 482 to do so. Some components landed in New Zealand soon after the launch. According to NASA, the lander probe contained a heat shield and parachute to help it land. However, experts said these may have been compromised over time. In other words, this parachute thing is not going to open. While the altitude of Cosmo 482 has gradually decreased, quite when it will crash to Earth remains unclear. NASA said it was expected to re-enter Earth's atmosphere sometime from May 9th to 10th. Now, the location of where it will crash remains a mystery. At present, NASA said it thought the landing probe could end up anywhere between the latitudes of 52 degrees north and 52 degrees south, a broad band that includes parts of Europe, the UK, and the Americas, as well as Africa and Australia, among others countries and regions. It's not going to end up deorbiting at the poles. So again, there's a possibility this thing might possibly the ocean. We don't know yet, but again, according to some expert, it seems like it's in the lower part. Actually, I think might be in the center. So they mentioned the Americas, which is north, south, and central. While NASA said the time, location at which it would re-enter Earth's atmosphere will be known more accurately over the next day or so. Uncertainty will be significant right up to re-entry. Because this is uncontrolled, that is the important thing right here. Excuse me, this is the important thing here. We can't do anything to influence where it comes down, when it comes down. But we can track it with telescope and with radar. All right, so although he noted that depended on the area in question having sufficient radar coverage, he added that with the lander probe not only heavy but likely to be traveling at speed, it will have some destructive capability. But while the probe could hit a populated area, this person said, as water covered about 72% of the Earth's surface, is more than likely going to hit water. All right, hopefully, but we don't want to see that thing hitting populated area, guys. So that's where we at on that news. And give me a second here. Yeah, that's where we at in that news. So we basically finish off almost everything here. Give me 1 second. I want to take it back onto Twitter. See if we can find anything here. Some updates. Okay, so we got some breaking news here. The breaking news just put out this information just in. Pakistani foreign minister says if India stops, we will consider stopping. I think that's a good thing. India, stop. 22 minutes ago. 22 minutes ago. What's going on here? Pakistan has claimed strike on India's S-400. Wow. This has not been officially confirmed. We will keep you updated on confirmation. Wow. Imagine that. S-400 is a missile defense system. Very powerful. I think, Russia makes them. Some breaking news coming out right now. Pakistan military says strike had been launched against Indian military sites as part of operation, and after 3 Pakistani bases were impacted by Indian air-to-surface missile. All right, so we already know that. I don't know why they're sharing that. So you have the U.S. president is preparing, check this out, to announce U.S. recognition of, you guys already know the Gaza, right? At the upcoming Gulf U.S. summit. So he's basically going to recognize as a U.S. territory, I guess. Mm, mm. That will really spark some fire. Indian Army said, "We affirm our commitment to non-escalation provided by the Pakistani Army does the same." All right. If we stop, then you stop. All right, guys. I think I'm going to end it here. Yeah. I think I'm going to end it here. So I want to thank every single one of you for tuning in. Thank you so much for your support. Again, please continue to pray for these nations. All day I've been posting videos, nation against nation. So, again, we are praying for Pakistan. We're praying for India. We're praying for Ukraine and Russia and the Holy Land. And I mean, we're praying for everyone out there. Things are looking pretty tough in the other side of the world. So, meanwhile, we are here surrounded by water. But that ain't going to be for long, because eventually there's going to be some shaking going on in our sleeping giant pretty soon. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good night. Again, make sure you subscribe to my other channel. The one link will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, Lord Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $5 a month Patreon. We get to access to our live stream once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on this platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.